And now, Talk Radio 1270 presents Doc Thompson's Friday Leftovers.
These are the great stories we didn't get to earlier in the week, so we'll get to them now. This is the one that I've been mentioning in our little commercial that's run all day. So a man's driving down the road with the zebra and the parrot riding shotgun. That is not the setup of a joke, but the setup of an actual news story.
That's a parrot, you said, and a zebra.
A parrot and a zebra. As I say those, you're now probably thinking, what do you mean, like a stuffed thing, a miniature, some sort of a picture? No. Imagine what a full live parrot looks like and a full live zebra. And that's what he has not only in his car, but riding shotgun in his truck.
So I don't understand. Is the parrot sitting in the zebra's lap or vice versa?
They're sitting next to each other.
Oh, okay.
There's actually footage, surveillance footage from some bar or restaurant or bank or something, and the parrot is riding in the middle. The zebra is riding over to the right. He's riding full passenger side there. This was in Cascade, Iowa. The guy was pulled over for driving under the influence. He was driving erratically. That may have less to do with the alcohol than the fact that he was driving with a zebra and a parrot next to him.
So they didn't come into the bar with him, the zebra or the parrot. They stayed in the car. He got drunk, got back in the car.
See, here's the thing. He and his wife apparently treat the zebra and the parrot, not a parakeet, a parrot, as their children. So they take them on little rides, and they try to take them out to eat with them and to bars. Well, they went out to go drinking, he and his wife. They get to the establishment, and the bar is like, dude, what are you, really? A zebra and a parrot? What are you doing? You can't bring a zebra and a parrot in here. Well, the guy's a little ticked off, but he goes in, drinks a few down, heads back out with the zebra and the parrot, apparently, and driving down the road, so he's all buttered up. Officer stopped him, ironically, in the parking lot of the Doghouse Lounge with the parrot and the zebra in the front seat.
At the doghouse.
Yeah. Now, deputies say that they realize, or excuse me, he said to the deputies that he realized he was too drunk to drive, so therefore he was about to let a passenger take the wheel when he was arrested. So he shouldn't have been arrested because he was going to let a passenger drive. And my question to that is, the parrot or the zebra?
I'm going parrot.
His wife wasn't with him. To my knowledge, there was no other passenger.
Didn't we say that she came with him to the bar? So did he leave?
No. She wasn't with him at the bar.
Okay.
Just normally they take him to the bar in the restaurant. Yeah, and this time he was just with him alone, or she didn't arrive.
I would have the parrot
with him.
drive.
Well, I think the parrot. No, I don't know. I think the zebra can reach the pedals better. Maybe it's a combination of the two.
Yeah, I think the zebra would be more useful for pressing the pedals while the parrot could steer.
Number one, animals are not children. Period. I know our wacky program director likes to think her dog is a child, and these other nutty people who treat them like children. Animals are not children. And if he really thought they were children, think about this. If his argument, like, I had to be able to bring him to the bar and restaurant because they're children or whatever, shouldn't he then be charged with child endangerment?
One would think so.
And how come they're not in a car seat?
That's a good call as well, but maybe they were old enough that they didn't need a car seat. It might have been like a 20-year-old parrot.
That's true. But I think the zebra's pretty young. Okay, but I think it may only be like a year or two old.
This is the cab of a pickup truck, right?
Yes.
So the zebra, is it a full-grown zebra?
It's not quite full-grown, but it's about, from the pictures I saw, it's probably about 3/4, or about 60%, 66%.
Typically
2/3.
the same size as like a donkey or something, or a small horse?
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Cab of a pickup truck. All right.
That doesn't fit. So I say, this is what the prosecutors or judge should say. If you really believe they're children, they ought to be in those places, then guess what? We're charging you with whatever. I bet you that's your, well, no, they're not really children. And number two, all right, I'm going to go ahead and call for it. I, Doc Thompson, afternoon host, Talk Radio 1270 in Detroit, Michigan, am now calling for an official moratorium on all animals going for rides. No more ride-alongs. If you got to take them somewhere to be groomed or to the veterinarian, fine. Otherwise, no animals doing the ride-along, and certainly not on your lap. The people with them on our program director, the dog's always on her lap, honking the horn as she drives down the road. Look, Skippy's in the passenger side now.
Her
And they're
dog's
running
named
around.
Skippy?
No, I don't know what it's named.
Okay,
Rex
good.
or something. I don't know what it is. He's in the back seat. He's up in the back window riding around. Look, isn't it cute that he's... No, he's not. It's dangerous. Get him out of there. An official moratorium on all the ride-alongs. And I say this, you may think, Doc, how significant is it you calling for that? I say this as someone who has a stepdog. My lovely wife has a very small little dog that will ride along with her at times.
Not with you, though.
No, I don't do that.
You wouldn't let it ride on your lap while you're driving?
No, are you kidding? I don't even like to go anywhere with it anyway.
All right.
I like the dog. It's a fine dog. It's my stepdog. But I'm not doing the lap riding. And any time she wants to take it along, I'm like, no, the dog can stay home.
You
no
don't
more
treat it like a redheaded stepdog, do you?
No. But if she had a zebra, I might be okay with that.
That guy should have just rode the zebra to the bar with Parrot as well. Never would have got a DUI.
Can you imagine the cops though for that one? Yeah, I'm gonna back up here. Is there a code for that? Like zebra and Parrot, shotgun? I mean, what's the?
I don't think there's you mean like a 211 or
or
a
519 or something. I don't think
yeah.
there. If there is, then they are incredibly specific with
Seriously, they must have seen that before.
He's got a great story to tell, though.
Gosh.
And trust me, if this has happened and seeing the pictures of the people because they look kind of questionable, this is not the last we've heard of them. Trust me, they will make it in the news again. Out of Decatur, Illinois, a Michigan woman in a little bit of trouble. She was in Decatur, Illinois, but she's from Michigan. See if you can figure out, Boz, spinning the dials, radio style today, where this criminal mastermind went wrong. Last Thursday, not yesterday, but a week ago, she attempted to cash a forged check at Bud's convenience store.
Forged check.
Forged check.
Okay.
Police were called when they called the police saying, hey, we think this is forged. She fled, and she left behind her driver's license.
Oh, I'd say that's where she went wrong.
You would think that's the first place she went wrong. See if anything else jumps out at you.
All right.
Last Sunday, then, police got a call from Bud's convenience store. Apparently, the woman returned.
To get her ID, probably.
Yes, to pick up her ID.
Yes.
You don't want to leave that there for them. She needs that. Come on, right?
Man, at least it wasn't an EBT card. She would have been out for all that time.
You got to go back and get your license. She's going to need that at some point. And that's when the police came by and picked her up.
Okay.
So I guess the rule is there. Don't leave your driver's license behind, and
don't return to the scene of a crime that you've committed.
The question for today may be, what does a guy have to do to get some anonymous sex these days?
That's a good question.
Well, in Alan Peterson's case, he tied himself to a tree, put a blindfold on, exposed his genitals, and waited for an anonymous sex partner in a public park. He tied himself to a tree, put a blindfold on, exposed his genitals, and simply waited for an anonymous sex partner in a public park.
What happened to Craigslist, man? Can't you just jump on Craigslist or something like that?
This was in Minnesota. A park visitor passed by and said, wow, there's a guy with a blindfold on with exposed genitals tied to a tree just waiting for anonymous sex, and they called the police. The police arrived, and police chief said, it's the weirdest thing I've heard of out there. He said, yeah, a lot of people go there for sex. He said, though he is skeptical of Alan Peterson's assertion that he was just sleeping.
Well, he had the blindfold on. If it would got daylight, he wouldn't have been able to sleep.
Listen, I have insomnia, and the only way I can sleep is to expose my genitals, tie myself to a tree, and put a blindfold on.
The blindfold does make it more anonymous, though.
He is facing charges of indecent exposure, lewd conduct, trespassing. He didn't even make it all the way into the park. He was actually on private property, so he gets nailed for that. But
so he tied himself to a tree on private property?
Right near the park, though, yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm sure there's a lot of people right now that are asking themselves, what was he thinking? And I'm asking myself, what was he thinking while tied to the tree? You're tied to the tree with the blindfold and your genitals exposed, waiting for some anonymous sex partner, right?
Yeah, but if you're legitimately tied to the tree, he probably needed help. Someone probably helped him, right?
No, he tied himself and was able, but he wasn't able to get free. So he couldn't lift up his blindfold, say, is anybody coming? So there he is thinking what? He's like, what is wait. Did I hear somebody? Oh, it's just the wind. Wait. Damn it, squirrel. Because you got to worry about the squirrels, right? Squirrels, right? And then all of a sudden, wait. I hear voices. Yes, somebody's coming. Yes, it's a male voice. Yes. Oh, it's the police. Oh, darn.
Do you think he even asked, though? And like, hey, I hear someone coming. Do you want to have sex with me? Whoever you are.
I'm tied to this tree.
I'm tied. I'm
blindfolded.
Get off the tree.
And my genitals are exposed.
I'm ready for sex.
I hope you're not that squirrel.
Sick of that squirrel.
Boy, it's been a long time. I'm tied to the tree, and nobody's wanted to have anonymous sex with me yet.
That is so weird.
I mean, you humming to yourself, you singing little songs. I mean,
you should have brought an iPad or iPod rather.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to pass the time, right?
Do something.
La la la. Wait, what was that? Darn it! Just a dog barking. Darn it! Out of Tampa Bay, a couple left their child locked in a car while they went inside a strip club. Is that a problem? It was just after midnight last Saturday night. They went into Pandora's Box, and by that I meant they went into the strip club that was named Pandora's Box. I didn't want to confuse you there.
My mistake.
While in Pandora's Box, they bought drinks, purchased a lap dance, used the restroom, hung out for a little over an hour. That's when somebody walking outside Pandora's Box went, there's a kid in that car who seems a little upset. They called the police. The police arrived, and the couple had been in Pandora's Box for about an hour and a half before deputies arrested him at just before 2 a.m. last Saturday night, Sunday morning. They were charged with child neglect, and I say they're being targeted.
Yeah, they are.
I say these are responsible parents because you don't want to take the kid into the strip club, right?
No, there's terrible things going on.
Exactly. That's not a good environment for a child. So they didn't take him in. Strippers running around.
People drinking.
The corruptive environment. No.
People making it rain.
It's rain up in here. They said, no, I'm going to let the kids sleep in the car while we're in the strip club. I think these are responsible parents.
Well, especially if they had a safety, one of those safety seats.
Corey Feldman has a restraining order against a 6-foot, 300-pound woman, and he had to have her arrested. She threatened to hurt, Corey Feldman, remember him, the Corey and Corey? Wasn't he some license to drive? He was the child actor in that movie. He was in Goonies, I think.
Yep.
And he was in Stand By Me. He was the crazy one with the glasses. Yeah. All right. Anyway, this says this restraining order against this woman. Had to have her arrested because she threatened to hurt him. She trash-talked him in front of his house and his guests. He asked his kid adult questions, whatever that is, probably about Pandora's Box. And so he had to call the police. See, I'll bet that if this 6-foot-tall, 300-pound woman simply lost some weight, got in some shape, she could probably stalk an actual celebrity.
Yeah. She could upgrade to like Charlie Sheen or
somebody that's actually a celebrity.
Yeah.
Lose the weight, put the time into it, and you can stalk somebody that really matters now. A drug suspect was running late for a rapper Scarface concert. Do you know who Scarface is? He's a rapper.
Yeah, I know Scarface. Nothing to write home about.
Because he was late, he had his mom take care of some of his drug dealing business. He had her use her silver minivan to pick up 10 kilos of heroin at the International House of Pancakes in Chicago. After the pickup, his mother was pulled over, and she was not using her turn signal. Agents found all the heroin in there. This is outrageous. This is horrible. In my day, drug dealers actually went and picked up the drugs, right? You can't even do it. You have to have your mom go and pick them up. That's outrageous. And speaking of people who are wrong, I got a sicko in the news. They need to go and pick this guy up today and lock him up and throw away the key. No suicide watch. And if you want to execute him, I say this sicko certainly deserves it. Listen to this. This guy went online and bid on an auction, paid $18,000 for a pair of Queen Elizabeth's underwear.
What?
This sicko needs to be locked up. You want that guy, some guy that wants Queen Elizabeth's underwear? This is horrific.
I'd pay to not have it.
I'm willing to chip in and not see him or even hear this story. They'd been placed on eBay by the estate of Baron Joseph de Biscordobranchi. I'm sure I got that wrong.
Yeah.
He had claimed that he came into possession of Queen Elizabeth's undergarments after she left him on a private plane when she visited Chile. There was a cyber auction, 18 total bids, $18,000 is what he paid. Sicko!
What was she doing that she left her panties on the plane?
Queen's a member of the Mile High Club.
Apparently.
Security footage shows a couple of guys breaking into an Idaho coffee house. One of the robbers had underwear on his head for a disguise. It was about 4:30 in the morning. Two men busted in, one with a bandana over his face, the other hiding behind a pair of undies. Why would you think he would have undies on? I'm thinking that's a last-minute heist, right?
Probably.
Or you didn't plan it good, and you're like, well, what's with the bandana? Well, I got to cover my face, right? I don't want people to see me. What am I going to use? Not my shirt. My underwear. That was a last-minute disguise. Listen to this story out of Athens, Georgia. A man rode his wheelchair from his home, to confront another man living in a trailer park not too far from his house over a debt that was owed, a $5 debt. The 74-year-old who was in the wheelchair, supposedly, he was the man in the trailer park, owed the money. He called 911 about 5 p.m. to report that the disabled man arrived in the wheelchair with this small dog named Benji, threatened to shoot him. When officers responded, they found the door of the man's trailer wide open with him sitting inside with no clothes on. Witnesses told officers they saw the two men arguing in the trailer's yard, one of them with no clothes on, and that both men were waving canes or walking sticks at each other. One witness said the 74-year-old threw a crutch at the wheelchair-bound man. Neither man was arrested.
Wait, which man was clothed?
The wheelchair-bound one with the dog named Benji.
Okay.
The trailer park guy had no clothes, but he was impaired as well, and he's the one who threw a crutch at the other guy. And you know what? I'm going to have to ride with the guy in the wheelchair. You can't let him disrespect you and owe you $5.
Nah.
What kind of street cred you going to have if you let him get away with owing you $5? Because it starts with 5, and then it's 5 1/4 someday that somebody doesn't pay you. Before you know it, people are not paying you $7 that they owe you.
Where does it end?
Right. You cannot let this stand. You can't do that. I'm with him. You got to make sure you have your street cred. A West Palm Beach man was arrested after being accused of wielding a gun at 3 women so he could cut in front of them at the McDonald's drive-in, the drive-through there. He wanted to go in front of them, so he pulled up alongside, waved his gun around a little bit. They backed off because they're like, whoa, he's got a gun, and then he zipped in and ordered first. I'm pretty sure you can use this method at the supermarket, too. You know, you got a couple items, someone's got a cart full. You don't ask them to go in front of you or go through the express aisle. You just wave the gun. And finally, today, as part of our Friday leftovers, a little insight into the culture of people from India. According to a story I found, and I didn't know this, Indian people, some of them, are obsessed with fairer skins. They want fairer skin, lighter skin, to the point that men as well as women buy all kinds of creams and lotions and ointments and salves and balms to try to make sure their skin is as light as possible. I didn't know that. Pregnant women in rural areas believe the myth that if they eat lots of white dairy products like milk and that, when the kid's pregnant, the kid will be lighter. While they're pregnant with the kid, that the kid will come out lighter. Well, a company in India has now taken this obsession to a new low. They have a feminine hygiene product that not only promises to keep a woman's area fresh, but also lighten the skin in that area.
Oh, it's cheaper bleaching.
Yeah, that's right, because they do have the bleaching. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The television ad for the Clean and Dry Intimate Wash shows an attractive modern woman sitting at home alone, wistfully, her partner in the same room, just kind of ignoring her. Then the next scene shows her in the shower, where a piece of animation shows the unsightly brown hue in that area, kind of blurred out there. They show her using the product, in kind of a obscure way, not directly, but, The next scene, after she's used the product, she's not only fresh, but lighter. The partner is more interested in her, lifting her into his loving arms. You're fresh and lighter in that area. Ha, ha, ha. God. That's pretty interesting. Coming up, our headlines of the week. It's Doc Thompson, Talk Radio 1270.
Doc Thompson.